All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most intimidating, and honestly, most brilliant sequels in all of literature, Goethe's Faust Part 2. Now, if you think you know Faust from Part 1, the tragic love story, well, Part 2 is a whole different beast. It's a cosmic journey through all of Western civilization, and it's all built around one massive, high-stakes question. I mean, really think about it. That's the core of this entire epic. It's the wager that drives every single thing that happens. How can you possibly live a full, meaningful life and experience everything the world has to offer without falling into that one single trap that costs you, well, everything? And you've got to understand, the leap from part one to part two is just huge. Part one, the story we all know, is what Goethe called the small world. It's this intimate, personal, gut-wrenching story about one scholar and the young woman Gretchen, whose life he completely destroys. But part two, it just explodes into the great world. Suddenly, Faust isn't just dealing with personal love and guilt, he's wrestling with empires, economics, war, art, and the entire destiny of humankind. The scale is massive. Okay, so Faust's journey with Mephistopheles is back on. But this time, his ambitions are literally world-sized. He's on this epic quest, right? He's going to test every major aspect of human experience to see if any of them, can give him that one single perfect moment of satisfaction that would make him lose his soul to the devil. So first up, power, the ultimate test, right? He and Mephistopheles just waltz into this emperor's court that's on the verge of total financial collapse. And with a little bit of demonic magic, they basically invent paper money, fix the economy, and then they even use engineering and illusions to win a massive war for the emperor. Faust gets to the absolute pinnacle of political influence. But you know what? It's empty. The thrill is gone in an instant. This is not the moment he's looking for. So he has conquered the world of politics, he's won wars, but it's all just hollow. It's not real. So his ambition completely pivots. He's no longer seeking power over others. Now he's going after the absolute, timeless ideal of beauty itself. And to do that, he has to literally travel back in time to its source, ancient Greece. And this whole journey becomes this amazing, symbolic story. On one side, you've got Faust. You can think of him as representing the modern, northern, romantic spirit. He's restless, he's always pushing, always yearning for something more, something he can't quite grasp. And who does he go searching for? None other than Helen of Troy. She is the perfect symbol of the classical spirit. She represents balance, harmony, perfect form, that timeless beauty of ancient Greece. She's not striving for anything, she just is perfection. So what happens when you smash these two worlds together? Well, their union is this powerful metaphor for the modern world trying to merge with the ancient ideal. They even have a son, Euphorion, who's this fiery spirit who tries to fly too high and, just like Icarus, falls to his death. And that's Goethe's point, really. The modern world can learn from the classical past, it can be inspired by it, but it can't live there. The bridge they build is beautiful, but it has to crumble. Helen vanishes, and Faust is forced to return to his own time. So, power was a bust. Ideal beauty was a beautiful but tragic dead end. Faust is an old man now, and he's got one last shot to find some kind of meaning. And this time, it's not about taking from the world. It's about building something new for it. His final vision is just unbelievably ambitious. It's this colossal engineering project. He wants to literally push back the ocean, reclaim useless swampland from the sea, and transform it into a new world, a place where millions of people can live and work. And this quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of it. He doesn't want to create some lazy, perfect paradise. The goal is to build a space for humanity to be free to be active. He's creating a foundation for future generations to continue that very act of striving that has defined his entire life. But, and with Faust, there's always a but, this grand utopian vision has a really dark side. See, standing in the way of his perfect project is this little cottage, owned by a sweet old couple, Philemon and Busichus. To finish his masterpiece, Faust orders them to be moved. Mephistopheles sends his goons, and they end up burning the couple alive in their home. It's this brutal, heartbreaking reminder that even the noblest plans can have a horrific human cost. And that brings us to the very end. Faust is now over 100 years old. He's blind, he's standing on the edge of his own grave, and Mephistopheles is right there, circling like a vulture, ready to cash in and claim his prize. The whole cosmic bet is finally about to be settled. So let's just quickly refresh the exact rules of the game here, because the fine print is everything. Mephistopheles wins his soul if, and only if, Faust experiences a moment of present contentment so perfect that he says to it, "Stay a while, you are so beautiful." He has to want time to stop, to just freeze in a moment of total static bliss. And then, it happens. Blind, on the verge of death, Faust hears the sounds of shovels, and he imagines his project is finally being completed. He gets this incredible vision of the future, a free people working on a free land that he created. And overcome by this vision, he says the fateful words. He declares that this moment, this vision of the future, is so beautiful he could wish for it to last. And as he says it, he falls dead.
I mean, it seems like an open and shut case, right? Faust said the words, he found his perfect moment. The devil should be dragging his soul straight to hell. So, has Mephistopheles finally won?
The answer is no. And this is where Goethe pulls off this incredible philosophical twist. See, the devil's trap was all about finding satisfaction in the present, in stagnation, in wanting things to just stop. But Faust's moment of joy wasn't about the present at all. It was a vision of the future, of other people continuing to strive and to work. So get this. Faust wins the bet because his ultimate satisfaction didn't come from pleasure or rest or getting something for himself. It came from the anticipation of future activity. He found his perfect moment in the idea of a world that would keep struggling, keep building, keep striving long after he was gone. Because his spirit was still active and forward-looking even in death, he technically never fell into the devil's trap. He won on a cosmic loophole. Okay, so he outsmarted the devil. Pretty clever, but that's one thing. Being worthy of salvation, that's another. Why does Faust's soul, a soul stained with so much sin and destruction, actually get carried to heaven by angels? Well, Goethe gives us two big reasons. First, Faust's own relentless striving. He never, ever gave up. To the very end, he was pushing forward with untiring, purposeful effort. And in this worldview, that counts for a lot. But, and this is absolutely crucial, that isn't enough on its own. The second key is divine grace, an undeserved, merciful, heavenly force that steps in and lifts him up. And as his soul is carried upward, we get this one final, breathtakingly beautiful moment. He's met and guided by the spirit of Gretchen, the very same woman whose life he destroyed back in part 1. Her love and her forgiveness become a redemptive force, helping to pull his soul toward heaven. The entire epic play ends with these famous, mysterious lines. What is this eternal feminine? Is it love? Is it forgiveness? The creative spirit of the universe? Goethe famously leaves it open for us to decide, but the final message seems to be that this powerful force of love and grace is what ultimately draws the striving, deeply flawed human soul toward salvation, a truly profound ending to an unbelievable journey.